That's why I'm saying imagination is actually better. It's more powerful than knowledge. If you knew what you don't know, you probably wouldn't have acted the way you did. The only reason why you did that is because of your imagination. Hi guys, my name is Deliwe Silepe. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a corporate girl. I have videos on all these aspects of my life, so please do go check them out after this video. So yeah, I'll link them down below for you, so it's gonna be easy. So on this channel, you and I come together and basically just make our lives better. Just, you know, video by video, yeah, day by day, it just gets better. You and I just fix our lives and we get it together. Okay, so if you're into that type of stuff, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button because you're gonna love this video. So yeah, let's get on to today's video. So today we are talking about this powerful tool, which is your mind. You guys, I have just stumbled upon this amazing information, and you know what it is? It's not even new information. It's just something that I've always known. It's always been, I guess, some way, you know. It just wasn't talking to me as much as it is now, and I hope that it will talk to you. Like after this video, it will really talk to you. So I was talking to my husband the other time, and we were talking about how, you know, the mind is a powerful tool to waste, and we also spoke about you know, like certain things around that. So he did a little bit of IT in school, and he was talking about how the mind is also like, you know, the algorithm, you know, the YouTube algorithm. So the algorithm checks out what you usually do, and then it gives you more of that. Even YouTube does that actually. Just the internet, Google, Facebook, whatever, I think all of them actually suggest the things that it assumes you want, and the assumption actually comes from the fact that you have looked at stuff like that before. So your mind actually works very much like that, you know. Your mind thinks about the things that you want, the things that actually are good for you, good and bad, and it's just so powerful. It's like, think about Google, right? So when you enter an address to go somewhere, right, it will take you to that very address that you've actually entered. And your mind actually works the same way, you know. You give it information, you ask for information, you ask for directions, it will take you there because it knows, you know what I mean? So with Google, if you put the wrong address, it will still take you, but to the wrong place, you see. And also with Google, if you ask the wrong question, and there is such a thing as a wrong question on Google, it will not answer you. It will ask you, did you mean this or did you mean that? Like, what are you asking me, you know? So as smart as it is, and as much as we think, we always say Google knows everything. Is there anything Google doesn't know? I mean, you ask it, where does Donald Trump let me not use him as an example. Where does who live? I don't know, some famous celebrity, somebody that you like. Where do they live? Or where were they born? It has that information, you understand? So it's that smart. So imagine your mind being like Google. If you're comparing those two things together, I mean, that means you're smart. So yeah, just think about it like that. And I mean, when I talk about how Google also, you know, will sometimes say it doesn't know what you're talking about, did you mean this, did you mean that, it just says you didn't ask the question correctly, you didn't ask it properly. So maybe be more specific. It will give you suggestions, but sometimes the suggestions are wrong. I've been in that situation. So with your mind as well, you ask it something and then it gives you the wrong information. So let me be more specific when it comes to your mind, right? So if you say to your mind, and I mean, we have conversations with ourselves every day, every second of the day, and actually we have conversations with our minds every second of the day. That's kind of what's happening here. And your mind is your servant, you know. It doesn't run your life, you run your mind, you know. So you tell it what to do, it does exactly that. It says, yes master, I'll do exactly that. So it's basically an employee of yours that, not even an employee, gosh. But let's just say, yeah, let's use the employee as an example. So it's you know, it's your servant. Actually, it does exactly what you tell it to do, and it literally just does that. So if you needed to do something else, something different, you're gonna need to train it, you know what I mean? So, you know, an example with regards to your mind, as I was saying before, is that, you know, you tell your mind that, you know what, I actually want to pass say you have applied for this, you know, course, and you're just doing this you're studying something, and it's a 6-month thing, or let's say a year thing, and you're saying to your mind, listen, I actually want to get a distinction at the end of the year. What you then do is, what your mind says to you is that, hey, you know what, actually you should study. Yes, that's the way to get the distinction, but remember, you like chilling better than studying, so how about you chill right now? Actually, you can do it tomorrow. You can always study tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, it's like, no, you know what, you'll study tomorrow, don't worry, you'll study the next day, it's okay, you'll study the next day. So it basically says that you are pretty much a procrastinator, and your mind already knows that. It knows that it needs to protect you from whatever it is that you don't like, whatever it is that hurts you. And if working hard hurts you, it will tell you to not do it. If you're the type that doesn't like waking up in the morning, you know, early in the morning, and you actually told yourself, you're like, you know what, actually I need to wake up in the morning because I need to gym, I need to work out, and I don't have time in the afternoon, I go to work, and then by the time I come back it's late, blah blah blah. So why don't I just wake up in the morning? That's kind of the solution you give yourself. You tell your mind that, and then your mind goes and tells you very early in the morning, it says to you, you know what, you're tired, you know, you're very tired, you slept late last night, or whatever the case is, just continue sleeping, it's okay, you'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow it does the same thing. That means that it knows that you value this procrastination. You've done it so much, it's actually so important to you. You've done it to a point that it feels like that's some way of making you happy or protecting you from something, and it will do whatever it takes to protect you, right? Because, you know, it's your servant. It wants you to be okay, to be happy, even if it's a short-term thing, but it knows that you trained it to be this way, and therefore it'll do that for you, right? So all of this is for you. As much as you think it's hurting you, it's actually not trying to hurt you, but it is, because you've trained it to do that to you. You know what I mean? So if you want to change your mind to start thinking, you know, positively, you tell it that, you know what, actually I really do want to start waking up in the morning, and to do that, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep early, I'm going to set an alarm, I'm going to do this. And then when you wake up in the morning, when your mind tells you, you know what, but remember, sir or madam, do you remember that you actually, your sleep is much more important. You need that beauty sleep. You're tired. Last night was rough, or yesterday was rough. Do you really want to do this right now? I don't think you should. Just go back to sleep. Just, you know, just sleep. You'll wake up again, and then you'll do it tomorrow. And then that's that. At that point, that's when you fight it and you tell it, you know what, I get that. You and I have had this thing where I would do things tomorrow, and then tomorrow was to the next day, and the next day is the next day. But right now, this is changing. So here's the thing, I'm retraining you as my servant, as somebody that is working for me, not the other way around. I'm telling you that this is what we're gonna do, and you're gonna have to get on with it. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to buy in. So that's the thing, you have to get your mind's buy-in, because your mind is the one that it needs to just hop on the train with you. You can't go alone and leave it behind. And that's what's gonna give you the discipline you need to wake up in the morning. That's what's gonna give you the discipline you need to study, to do whatever, because you said to it, I have a target, this is my target, and this is how I'm going to do it. So just remember that with everything, literally everything, your mind holds the key. You know when they say it's all in the mind, and it's so true. So my husband and I were also talking about how there's this quote by Albert Einstein. He was talking about how actually your imagination is better than knowledge. You know what I mean? So, and I said to him, that is so, it's so deep, you know? I mean, you can take it at face value if you want, but for me, it's just so deep, because I'm thinking imagination is what happens when I've trained my mind to think in a certain way. I've trained my mind to think, you know, I'm insecure, I'm you know, I'm not good enough, or I'm not whatever, beautiful enough, or smart enough, or whatever enough. And I get to a space where I'm required to be those things, and I already feel like these people are judging me because I'm not beautiful enough. You know what I mean? Is it because I'm too this, or you know what I mean? Like, you already start thinking things like that. And you know, the part where imagination is so much more powerful is when you act on it. Because as soon as you start thinking, maybe somebody whispered in somebody's ear, and it probably had nothing to do with you. Maybe it did, but it probably didn't. Actually, chances are it actually didn't. And you're already thinking, oh my gosh, these people, then you quit. You're like, they don't like me. You know, they were gossiping about me, and I think it has to do with the fact that I'm not this enough. You know what I mean? So you already started, you already drew this conclusion, and you just you are where you are because you didn't continue with or whatever you wanted to do. And the reason why you didn't continue with it is because of your mind, your imagination. And that imagination comes from the fact that your mind was trained to think you are not worthy, you are not good enough, you're not this enough, you know what I mean? And that is such a dangerous thing. It's the same thing that happens when, have you seen with a lot of adults do this actually, they get in relationships and then they leave before the other person leaves because they're like, oh, already. So I think I've heard somebody say that. It was probably somebody I know very well, but I just can't remember who, but like it's a long time ago. So they're saying that, oh, I just left him. And I was like, okay, why? She's like, no, because I could see the signs. You know, I know when a guy's about to leave, and I know that he was going to break up with me, and I had to break up with him first because I want to be in control. I was like, oh, but okay. At the time, it was like, whatever. But I think now that I think about it, her mind actually told her that this person is going to leave. Guy was probably not going to leave her. Who knows? Nobody, because she already left the relationship before she could, you know what I mean? So that imagination, that thing in her mind that keeps telling her that, hey, listen, everybody's gonna leave anyways, so you better leave first, girl, before this one leaves too, because it's just going to hurt you. So to avoid being hurt like you were the other time, like when whatever happened, why don't you just leave first? Be the one that's in power, in control, you know what I mean? So you've already, so that's the thing about imagination, you act on it. It's not just in the mind to say, oh, you know, they don't like me, whatever. You do something about it. You get out of that situation. You do whatever it is that you have to, that you can, to just better to protect yourself. And all of this is ideas from your mind. So your mind is smart enough to say, hey, listen, why don't you just break up with the person first? Why don't you just leave this place before, you know, whatever happens? And it's not always true, you see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying imagination is actually better than, I mean, it's more powerful than knowledge. If you knew what you don't know, you probably wouldn't have acted the way you did. The only reason why you did that is because of your imagination. So here's what you need to do to actually avoid all of that, to retrain your mind to start thinking positively. You write things down, write them down so that you not only educate yourself, but you educate your mind to give you better advice, you know, to be a better servant, you know what I mean? And only you can train your mind. I mean, it's so easy to train it. It's so easy that they say that to create a habit, it only takes 21 days. 21 days is nothing. I mean, come on, it's less than a month. So if you can train your mind in 21 days, that's how easy it is. It's just, you just have to do it. You just have to be disciplined just for the 21 days. And then going forward, your mind will start helping you out. You know, it'll start actually saying at 5 a.m., ooh, you do need to wake up. You know what I mean? You do need to get up because remember, you're trying to get that bod or whatever the case is. So yeah, you have to just get your mind to start working that way, and whatever way that will actually work for you, but start feeding it good information all the time. Write things down for yourself and feed your mind good information, and train yourself, train your mind, and give it 21 days to actually make it, to form a habit, because as soon as the habit forms, it's just going to be beautiful for you. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait for that for you actually. And then also, you guys, you must be more specific with your mind, and don't be scared of dreaming. You know, sometimes you're just so shy about wanting things, not only to the outside people but even to yourself. Like, just an example is, I want to have achieved 7 distinctions. Say I'm in, I don't know, grade 10, I'm in school. I want 7 distinctions at the end of the year. I already feel like I'm not worthy. I'm not going to get the 7 distinctions. It's impossible for me to get 7 distinctions. So much so that I can't even ask myself that. I can't even talk to my mind and say, hey, listen, we need to get 7 distinctions at the end of the year, because I'm just so scared to even say it, because I feel like I'm just gonna fail anyway. So already you actually and your mind are playing tricks on you, and it's just not gonna work for you. So you must start thinking of yourself as worth whatever it is that you want, whatever it is. Just start thinking of yourself as somebody who deserves that, who can get that. That's the thing. Believe that you can get that. And also another thing is, ask God to protect yourself from your own beliefs. And I know this is a bit tricky. How do I do that? I mean, I already believe in God, but just hear me out here. Ask God to protect you from believing, because you already believe that it's just impossible. I am not going to get that. I'm not going to be able to run with the Comrades Marathon. It's just impossible. I just can't do it. I know that I can't do it. And you are believing, you believe that you can't do it based on the evidence that I couldn't even run 5 kilometers, I couldn't even do this, I couldn't even do that. That's what you believe, right? Those are your beliefs. Ask God to protect you from your own beliefs. That will help you a lot, because your beliefs are based on reality. They're based on what you think is reality, actually, what you think is more achievable. And you know, you find people, when you tell them, no, don't be so pessimistic, and they're like, no, I'm just a realist. And you're like, but it can happen, you know, it's not impossible, it can happen. And yes, we're not saying don't work hard or whatever, but just believe that you can. As soon as you believe that you can, I think that will just, you'll be fine. You know, you'll get there. That's it. So yeah, that's the end of the video. But just remember that between Google and God, you'll find whatever information you're looking for. And that goes the same with between you and your mind. You can find whatever information that you're looking for. And the best advice will come from your mind. Just remember to unlock it, to train it to do best for you. And most of all, just allow yourself to dream bigger, to introduce your mind to this idea that you actually are great, you can be good, you can be amazing too, and not that you are not good enough or not worthy for certain things, and you know what I mean, you're not able to get certain things because of 1, 2, 3, because of based on this evidence and that evidence. All of that is null and void. It doesn't mean anything. You can do it if you want to do it, but tell your mind that, believe it first, and then tell your mind, get your mind on board, and then you're good to go. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you again next week, and please remember to like the video and remember to subscribe on this channel. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Love you so much. Bye bye.